They say the hardest person to convince of your worth is yourself. And that's where most people lose the battle long before the world even gets a chance to doubt them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But what if the mind you're supposed to control is quietly turning against you, making you believe you're not enough? That's what happens when you undervalue yourself. And most people don't even realize they're doing it. If you're tired of being the one who gives too much, apologizes too much, or expects too little, stay with me till the end. Let's uncover the hidden signs that you might be undervaluing yourself, and how Stoicism can help you finally reclaim your worth. Before we begin, if you're on a journey to build inner peace and strength through Stoic wisdom, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It helps this channel grow, but more importantly, it keeps you grounded in philosophy that actually changes lives. Number 1, you say sorry when you've done nothing wrong. Apologies are noble until they become a reflex. When you say sorry for simply existing, for speaking up, or for taking space, you're unconsciously teaching your mind that your presence is a burden. And once that belief sets in, your confidence fades silently. You start walking softer, speaking quieter, and asking for less. The Stoics would call this a misjudgment of value. Epictetus taught that your worth doesn't come from approval, but from how you use your reason and character. If you keep apologizing for things you don't control, you're treating your dignity like a discount item. Stop that. You're not on sale. Next time you feel the urge to apologize for something trivial, pause. Replace sorry with thank you. Instead of sorry I'm late, say thank you for waiting. It's a simple shift, but it rewires your self-perception from guilt to gratitude. And if you ever feel guilty for being human, remember, even Marcus Aurelius probably sighed and showed up late to a few emperor meetings. Number 2, you downplay your achievements. Ever received a compliment and replied with, "Oh, it's nothing"? That right there, that's the sound of self-doubt in disguise. When you minimize your accomplishments, you're refusing to stand on the ground you work hard to earn. Stoicism teaches humility, yes, but not self-erasure. There's a difference between being humble and being invisible. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." That also applies to recognition. If you constantly crave external validation, you'll never feel rich internally. But the opposite extreme, denying your own success, stars your spirit of pride that's well-deserved. Try this. The next time someone praises your work, simply say thank you. Don't justify, downplay, or redirect it. Own the compliment. That's not arrogance, it's acknowledgement. And if your mind whispers, don't get too confident, just smile and remind it, I'm not confident. I'm honest. Number 3, you tolerate disrespect because you fear being alone. This one hurts, but it's true. Most people settle for less, not because they don't know what they deserve, but because they're scared of what comes after standing up for it. You tolerate disrespect from friends, partners, or co-workers because deep down, you fear that walking away means you'll have no one left. But in reality, walking away is how you make space for people who see your value. Epictetus taught, if you wish to be loved, love yourself first. When you undervalue yourself, you're like a merchant selling diamonds at the price of glass. People will take advantage because you've set the price tag. The moment you raise your standards, the wrong people will leave, but the right ones will stay. Being alone doesn't mean you've lost everything. It means you've stopped renting your peace to people who never deserved it. And if anyone calls you too much, tell them to go find less. Stoicism approves this message. Number 4, you struggle to make decisions without asking for permission. When you undervalue yourself, you start outsourcing your judgment. You overthink, hesitate, and seek approval for every small choice. Should you post that picture? Should you apply for that job? Should you say what you really feel? You end up living life like it's a group project where everyone gets to grade you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, meaning stop asking for permission to be who you already are. When you constantly depend on others to validate your decisions, you lose trust in your own wisdom. And that's one of the fastest ways to lose your self-worth. Start small. Make one decision today without seeking a second opinion. Trust your instincts. They've survived everything life has thrown at you so far. And remember, no philosopher in history ever said, "Let me check with my friend first before I follow virtue." Number 5, you give more energy than you receive. If your relationships feel one-sided, it's not because you love too deeply. It's because you don't protect your energy enough. You pour until your cup runs dry, and then you wonder why you feel invisible. Stoicism teaches balance. Generosity is a virtue, but so is self-preservation. Seneca said, "He who gives when he is asked has waited too long." The meaning? Give consciously, not out of guilt or habit. If people only show up when they need you, you're not in a relationship. You're in a transaction. Value yourself enough to stop proving your loyalty to those who never earned it. Protect your peace like it's gold, because it is. You can be kind without being a doormat. You can be giving without being drained. You can be stoic and still have boundaries. And if anyone accuses you of being selfish for choosing peace, just tell them, "I'm not selfish. I'm selective." Number 6, you avoid conflict to keep the peace. You tell yourself you're being mature or stoic when you stay silent, but often that silence comes from fear, not wisdom. You swallow your thoughts, nod along, and let things slide just to avoid tension. But peace that costs your voice isn't peace, it's quiet surrender. The Stoics didn't run from discomfort, they faced it. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, wars, and plague, yet he wrote, "If it is endurable, then endure it." Stop complaining. What he didn't mean was to endure injustice. Stoicism teaches acceptance of what you can control, not passivity toward what you can. When you let people walk over you, you're not being calm, you're being erased. Next time you're tempted to stay quiet, ask yourself, is it really peace I'm keeping, or am I protecting someone else's comfort at the expense of my own truth? Sometimes speaking up doesn't destroy peace. It reveals who never wanted it in the first place. And that's a Stoic lesson wrapped in modern courage. Number 7, you chase validation instead of purpose. Let's be honest, social media made this worse. Every like feels like proof you exist. Every view feels like value. But if your worth depends on numbers, you're trapped in a game you can never win. You post, wait, refresh, and feel anxious when it doesn't perform well. Yet the Stoics would laugh gently and ask, "Who told you your worth could be measured by strangers?" Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And that suffering today is often from the illusion that validation equals value. True Stoicism means doing what is right, even if no one claps for it. You don't need applause to live with virtue, only self-respect. Next time you're chasing approval, pause and ask, if no one saw this, would it still be worth doing? If yes, that's purpose. If not, that's ego. Besides, even Epictetus didn't have followers, and yet 2,000 years later, we still quote him. That's the power of living with purpose, not performance. Number 8, you feel guilty for resting. You can't sit still, can you? You rest, but your mind doesn't. You think, I should be doing something. When you undervalue yourself, you measure your worth by your productivity, as if you need to earn the right to breathe. But rest isn't laziness. It's maintenance for the soul. Even nature rests. The seasons, the sun, the sea. Why shouldn't you? The Stoics understood balance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love only that which comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny." That includes rest. When you constantly overwork to prove your value, you become like a warrior who never puts down his sword. Eventually, you cut yourself. Give yourself permission to pause. The world won't fall apart because you took a nap. And if your inner critic starts shouting lazy, tell it, even emperors needed sleep, my friend. Number 9, you compare your journey with others. Comparison is the most silent thief of peace. You scroll, you watch, you measure. Someone your age has more money, more followers, more success, and suddenly, your path feels like a failure. But you forget, Stoicism doesn't measure progress by comparison, but by character. Epictetus taught that freedom is found when you stop desiring what isn't yours. That means someone else's timeline isn't your competition. It's just noise. When you compare, you abandon your own path. You stop walking your road to stare at someone else's. Try this. Next time envy hits, practice sympathia, the Stoic idea of shared human connection. Instead of resenting someone's success, remind yourself, their win doesn't make you lose. We're all parts of one greater whole. So instead of thinking, why not me? Think, my time will come, and when it does, I'll be ready. And if that doesn't help, just remember, even Socrates probably compared himself to Plato once or twice. He just didn't have Instagram to make it worse. Number 10, you constantly question your worth in love and friendships. You keep asking yourself, am I too much? Too quiet? Too boring? Too emotional? When someone withdraws, you take it personally. When someone leaves, you blame yourself. This is one of the deepest signs of undervaluing yourself, when your self-worth depends on how others treat you. But here's what Stoicism reminds us. No one can give you value. They can only reflect the value you already see in yourself. Seneca wrote, "He who does not value himself cannot value anything or anyone." If you don't see your own light, even love will feel like rejection, and kindness will feel like pity. Start paying attention to how you talk to yourself. If you wouldn't say it to a friend, don't say it to your mind. The Stoics practiced self-respect not as ego, but as duty, because they understood you can't live with virtue while living in self-hate. So stop begging to be chosen. You already were by life itself. And if someone can't see your worth, it doesn't mean you're not enough. It just means you're not theirs to see. The truth is, undervaluing yourself doesn't happen overnight. It's built through small moments. An apology here, silence there, a compliment deflected, a need ignored. Over time, you stop seeing yourself as the main character in your own story. But Stoicism calls you back to reason, self-respect, and balance. It tells you that peace isn't found in approval, but in alignment. You don't have to shout your worth to the world. You just have to stop whispering it to yourself. So today, remember this. You are the judge of your value, not the world. And if you ever forget, come back to these words, because the world doesn't need another person who doubts their light. It needs someone like you to realize they've had it all along. If you found value in this message, like this video and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Let's grow together, calmly, wisely, and without apology.